Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna Nair. Here, basically, we are talking about some big topic, that is the currency dependency. And in currency dependency, we are talking about the global warming that is equal to ideas. And in this, basically, we are talking about one topic: how the cities basically are created. How cities basically, because in city basically only the mosque exists, the masjid exists, the temple exists, the church also exists, and each and every place also exists basically. When Mumbai basically was created basically, that time basically the each and every place basically was created where the 12 bomb blast basically happened. So if you want to track basically, if police want to track this basically, from with earthquake basically the bomb blast was happened basically, that you can basically easily able to track that basically. That is through earthquake basically. So earthquake department basically mostly basically 99% basically might be knowing that basically where basically next bomb blast is going to happen basically. So this is actually very dangerous topic basically. That means earthquake departments know basically that is basically mostly basically the France department, that is France department basically knows that basically where the bomb blast is going to happen. I am not telling that basically France are doing everything basically. France basically knows basically that the next bomb blast which is going to happen in the masjid, church, temple, and each and every place basically where basically bomb blast is going to happen basically. So this is very dangerous topic basically, and this is going to help to the police department basically. 100% going to help to the police department basically. Why? Because if you are knowing the detail basically that basically bomb blast is going to happen here basically, then it's very easy to stop na basically. But I am not telling that police only doing this basically. Police basically can stop this basically. Bomb blast basically. That is correct. For example, earthquake is happening just now basically, right? Assume basically that somewhere basically the earthquake basically happened. So that basically connected with which place na basically. That also you can track basically. For example, from certain areas, the area of a certain place basically. For example, the earthquake line basically connected with certain areas basically. If that area the earthquakes connects basically, then 100% basically bomb blast is going to happen to that city basically. This type of system basically is created by the top group basically, which are basically sitting in White House, which are basically sitting in World Bank, which are basically sitting in World Forum basically. They basically knows everything because the system is created na, basically. We have not created the system basically. India is basically not involved in this system creation basically. India is basically not created. India is not going to do the bomb blast basically like 93 bomb blast, Ahmedabad bomb blast. They basically, India is not going to do that. Indian people are going to do that basically. No, basically. So one of the person told that basically, yeah, earthquake basically are connected up to deep level basically. So this topic actually going off earthquake only basically. In that basically we are connected to the currencies, and in currencies basically we connected to the global warming and ideas basically. And in ideas basically we are connected with the global warming, and global warming we are discussing basically the solution basically. In solution basically 12th number solution, that is the city creation basically, which is basically happen. So Mumbai city was created basically. So when Mumbai city was created, that time basically 93 bomb blast basically which has happened basically, that basically is connected with some certain level of earthquakes basically which has happened basically long before. When basically that basically need to track basically. When was that happened basically, that need to track to the earthquake departments. And in earthquake departments basically France handles the earthquake department, UAE also handles the earthquake department, and then basically USA also basically have the data, Russia also have the data basically. But India don't have this type of data basically. And they basically say that basically we have given everything to USA basically. So mostly USA is basically that type of professional group basically. They give each and every information basically. They are very professional group basically. I had taken one example of the dollar basically. They told that basically 35 crore people will die. So in that basically they have literally told that basically we are basically not going to kill these 35 crore people basically. That's basically the our we are basically not involved in the India only basically. In India basically In India basically we are not involved only. They will be going to tell that basically we are basically giving the money to the as a dollar format basically to your businessman basically. They are doing it basically. So one of the person told that basically this dollar people who are basically earning the money basically they know that basically the 93 bomb blast going to happen basically. And bomb blast basically going to happen in mosque, in church, temple, each and every place basically. I'm talking about the each and every place basically. Like this basically each and every bomb blast basically is going to happen. That data basically have basically with the earthquake department basically. And the earthquake department basically everybody just knows that. Just recently basically I talked about that basically just a few minutes before. This whole group basically knows basically that where is the data basically, and how basically that city how basically earthquakes are connected. For that basically you have to study the how the city basically has created, on the ways of which data basically city has created, on the basis of which blood cells data basically energy the city has created. That basically if you will study, then basically you will able to easily be able to know that basically how the earthquake system basically has created by the set of groups that are USA, Russia, Italy, and India basically also might be there basically, but Indian basically, and like Singapore, this all are basically digital world na basically. So this whole group basically knows that basically that this earthquake has happened. So on the base of this earthquake basically this all the incidents basically which is going to happen basically. That system created basically. I had not created basically. And police department might be knowing or not knowing, who basically knows. If police department will know basically the bomb blast is going to happen, then they can stop na bomb blast basically. Like this basically things are basically there. Like this basically things are basically there. Like this lots of people say that basically yeah basically earthquakes are connected up to deep level here basically. Up to this much deep basically. Then one of the person told that basically global warming basically error basically are solved, are getting solved basically. It's not like that basically they are not solving. They are actually solving like this basically, that are doing earthquakes, doing bomb blast. Like this basically they are finishing the area only basically. So this is way basically this is the way basically why how they are basically solving the problem basically. And one of the person told that basically if bomb blast basically has happened before that, lots of things basically might have tried basically to repair that particular place basically. Then he told that yes basically you are correct. To repair that particular place basically lots of basically try basically might have happened basically. After that only basically the bomb blast has happened. So like this basically next video basically we are going to see little bit more about the ideas basically, and how basically ideas are connected with the global warming, and how basically each and every earthquakes basically are connected with the city creation, and each and every incidents basically which happens in this world basically they are connected with the directly with the earthquakes. And earthquake system basically is created by the World Bank, World Health Organization, and the big countries like USA, Germany, and UAE. Like this basically Muscat basically is always there basically because they are number one. So like this whole are the country basically who are basically creating the earthquake system basically. And earthquake system is created basically, it's not like that basically it is not created. And that is basically directly connected with the glacier basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about the city creation and glacier which is created on the base of glacier creation. The incidents basically happens in this world which is basically created basically.